I found you from the Tales of series. I do get those every now and then. Someone says like Kingdom Hearts or Tales of or something. It's always very interesting to hear how people found the channel, but the most common answers are Digimon and Pokemon Conquest. I almost played Mystic Plasma Zone, which would have made this thing stronger than my knight. I agree, Chaos, but hear me out. Although not as good as the spin-offs, Black and White 2 were really good games, as was Platinum. Black and White are probably my favorites of them. Platinum's good. The thing is like they're just fine, or good maybe. I would say good games, but like, the longer Pokemon kept going with just being mediocre to bad, the worse they seem in retrospect. You found me from Tales of Zestiria. What are you still doing here? That playthrough was terrible. Player cannot attack face-down monsters during this turn. Unfortunate. Tales of Zestiria was not a great game. You found me because of Smash Bros? That's hilarious. It's actually really funny. Tales of Zillia? Now we're talking. That random penguin? You're my man of the day. That's my favorite video game right there. Anyways, like, Pokemon games from, like, Gen 7 onward are awful. Pokemon games, like, Gens, like, 3, 4, and 5 are, like, they're fine. They're not amazing games, but I used to think they were, like, really good games. Now, as I've played other turn-based RPGs and other video games in general, I'm like, you know what? Even those games aren't that good. They're fine. I used to play Pokemon games like all the time, and I would do randomized versions of Gen 3, 4, and 5, and I'd replay them every now and then, etc. I haven't felt that desire since like 2018. I just like, one day I just woke up and realized, I think it was like I started to realize the new Pokemon games were bad, and after a while of being like, the new ones are bad, I looked back at the older ones, and I was like, you know what, these games are kind of lame too. I've played them too much. Like, I don't regret playing them. I wouldn't hate playing them again, but I don't want to ever play them again. Oh yeah, Lone Wolf found me because of Raiquin, our good buddy Pete. All his fault. I know a lot of my friends thanks to Pete, to be honest. He was my gateway into a PokeTuber community that led to a lot of the people I know, like Slyro, Lone Wolf, RTK, Michael, all because I did a collaboration with Raiquin once. You crack me up at your frustration with specific fights in Smash Bros. Ultimate. Smash Bros. Ultimate is one of the only occasions I can remember where I got really mad at the game and chat said, you're wrong and bad, and then I was like, you know what, you're right. A lot of times when chat says, like, actually, you just suck, I'm like, no, you're just an idiot. But Smash Bros. Is one of those times that I look back and I'm like, yeah, chat was right, I was wrong, and I took chat's advice and it worked out. It wasn't chat at the time, it was YouTube comments, but my point stands. Bum, 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 bum. Ow. Found you when I was looking up Digimon DS help on YouTube. Yep. Some form of Digimon. That's the most common one. Worst decision you ever made? Think how much better it'd be if we weren't giving you scheduling issues? Yeah, Lone Wolf, totally. In actuality, I'm very lucky that that happened, but also haha funny. Die. What was my first Pokemon game? My babysitter's brother, who was in college at the time, he had a Nintendo 64, and let me play Pokemon Stadium whenever. Sometimes my babysitter would babysit me at my house, and sometimes it would be at her house because we lived in the same block. And when I was at her house during the summer and her brother was home from college, he would have his N64 and he would let me play Pokemon Stadium on his N64. That was the first time I ever played Pokemon, and it might have been the first time I ever played a video game. Because, I mean, you know, you only have a babysitter when you're like, what, like 7 or 8 and younger? So I was like probably 5 or 6 at the time. The first game that I owned was, the first Pokemon game I owned, which might have also been the first game I owned, I don't remember, was Pokemon Ruby. Pokemon Ruby. I respect your grind and format a lot. The 20-minute videos are always a nice pace to watch. Thank you. That is a bit of an antiquated version of YouTube. I've talked about this before. I grew up watching... Oh, Spirit is max level. Let's go. I grew up watching SSOH PKC, among other YouTubers, and one thing I always loved about Seamus, SSOH, who sadly doesn't do content anymore, which is unfortunate because I love his stuff, is he would upload, like, anywhere from 10 to 15-minute videos, and he would upload, like, 10 of them a day. And I always had something to watch because of the way he did content, basically, and I loved that. So nowadays the algorithm doesn't like that as much. It's not the optimal way to do content, but I just like to make the content that I would want to see, and that's what I love. I love having, like, I was gonna say bite-sized. They're not bite-sized. Bite-sized videos are like 5 minutes, but I like having relatively small videos. And I also like long-form videos that are like 3 or 4 hours as well that you can just watch as a giant VOD. I don't dislike those, but there are plenty of those out there. I like having videos that are in like 20-ish minute increments that I can sit down and just watch one while I'm eating or something, or when I'm doing something specific. And then when it's done, I'm like, ah, cool, now I can move on to something else. So that's how I make my content. And also, those 20-minute videos are in a playlist, so if you want to watch them as if they're a 3-hour VOD, then you just hit the playlist and hit go and turn on autoplay. And then you've got, like, anywhere from 3 to 40 hours of content. I remember when 15 minutes was the limit for new channels. Please don't make me feel old live on my stream. Are you planning to redux Zillia 2? Yes, but I'm going to do it after I redux Zillia again. I want to play through Mila's story in Zillia first, and then I'm going to play Zillia 2 after that, because it has been way too long since I played Zillia 2. But I want to do Mila's story in Zillia 1 first, because I've still never played it, even though Zillia is my favorite game. Oh, hey, Mindy, we still haven't registered you. Let's go. What about the Shadow Pokemon games? Shadow Pokemon games, probably, like, Genius Son. We would be living in such a better world if instead of Game Freak, Genius Sonority had stayed in business and made all the Pokemon games. Genius Sonority would have had the same trouble of being rushed by the Pokemon Company because Pokemon makes too much money for its own good. But I truly believe that Genius Sonority would do better than... I've done this very wrong. I truly believe Genius Sonority would have done better than Game Freak. 26 is still pretty young, Chaos. I'm 27, for the record. Moki. Triangle power. Wait. What is triangle power? Increase the original attack and defense of all face-up level 1 normal monsters on your side of the field by 2,000 until the end phase. Destroy all level 1 or normal monsters on your field during this phase. Oh. Die? Anyways, Pokemon Coliseum and XD Gale of Darkness are pretty good games. Their only big flaw is that they were before the special physical split. But there is a hack of Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness called XG Gale of Darkness or something like that, or Next Gen. I don't remember what it was called. But that was a pretty good hack. It got frustrating with some of the Shadow Pokemon sometimes, and got on my nerves, because they had, like, Shadow moves like Shadow Boom, which was infuriating to me. But other than that, that was a really good hack. I'd look into it, if you haven't played it before. if you still like Pokemon and you want to play a good game. I'm pretty sure he added the physical special split, added more Shadow Pokemon, made a bunch of really good changes. It was just really good all around. Get rid of Fissure, actually. And then we don't need Koala here. Sad thing is, no matter which studio, they'll always get rushed to make new games. Yes, you're right. And Game Freak definitely suffers because of that. However, at the same time, I still think Game Freak does a bad job. Also, like, even if you're rushed, Pokemon is the highest grossing franchise of all time. You can make up for having less time by spending more money to pay more people to be working on it. And they don't do that. So, like, is Game Freak in a rough spot because of Pokemon's very existence and how it works? Yes, absolutely. Does that excuse all of their mistakes? Like, oh, there was nothing they could do, dude? No, I disagree. I think there was definitely things they could do to make Pokemon games better, and they just actively choose not to. That was also true. In that XD, it might have been updated. I played that game like 4 years ago. He probably updated it because he actually left a comment on my playthrough saying that he was going to be changing some stuff, I think. But it had problems, but it was still a fun hack. Give me back Graceful Charity. Mine. Goodbye. Goodbye. Yeah, I heard that Legends of Arceus did pretty well. Yeah. World Suppression. This is a card that specifically stops field spells. Why do you have a card that specifically stops field spells? You can activate this when a field spell is activated. Negate it during the turn this card is activated. Why would you ever want that card? Just like, actually, why? Anyways, I heard Legends of Arceus was pretty good, but it also still had problems, and, you know, one success out of, like 7 games in a row is not a very good record. I did not play Legends of Arceus. My friends did. Michael played it, and Michael said it was fun, but by the end of it, he was still like, oh, I don't think I'd ever play it again. And I think that's the consensus a lot of people had, is like, it was fine to play once, but I'd probably never play it again. Which isn't inherently bad, but again, coming from like the highest grossing franchise of all time, that's not really the feel you want to walk away with, right? Because like when I play games like Horizon Zero Dawn or Persona 5 or Metroid Prime Remaster that just recently came out. Hey, we registered Mindy, let's go. I don't want to immediately play those games again right after finishing them, but I'm definitely like, every couple of years, I'd be down to play it again. I have no desire to play a Pokemon game ever again, other than the spin-offs that I like. How have I not registered Briar? Oh, I need to switch out the adhesive explosives for Blastsphere. Which games do you love more, Battle Network or Star Force? I prefer Star Force, but they are both very good. I played Pokemon Ranger like 3 times. It was so good. I'm not a big fan of the first Pokemon Ranger because of the way it, like, the gameplay works, but I love Shadows of Almia and Guardian Signs. I played those games multiple times each. Pokemon spin-off games are better than mainline Pokemon games. I will, like, I'm not willing to, like, try and argue someone out of liking Pokemon. If you like Pokemon, if you like the main games, whatever. If you like Pokemon, you like Pokemon. I don't care if you like Pokemon. But, you know, enjoy what you like, etc., etc. But I will absolutely, I'll die on the hill. Like, I'll argue for the spin-off games being better than the main games. Are they necessarily for everyone? No, some people aren't going to vibe with Mystery Dungeons. Some people aren't going to vibe with Ranger, especially. But, like, man, they're just all so much better than the mainline games. Oh no, it's a tiger with an axe. How are you gonna call that an axe, but then also call what Vorse Raider uses an axe? They're both so different. I don't get why they don't put more money into Pokemon. It always feels like they do the bare minimum. I'll tell you exactly why they don't put more money into it. They don't have to. They started putting less and less effort into each Pokemon game from Gen 6 onward. And like when Sword and Shield came out, and I believe when it came out, it was the highest selling Nintendo Switch game at the time. Like it broke records with its sales. The minute that happened, Game Freak, Nintendo, and the Pokemon Company all realized we don't have to try. People will buy it anyway. Not only will people buy it, but people will defend it. Like, people on the internet will be like, no, this game is amazing, you just don't get it, man, etc., etc. They're like, oh, we don't have to try. We'll make money anyway. So if we can make money without trying, why not do that instead of, you know, trying? Battle Network Legacy Collection has nice trophies. No online trophies. No offline trophies is amazing news. Does, how many platinum trophies are there? Is it just one platinum trophy? Or, like, how did they do the platinum trophies? Does people own the game now? Can someone tell me? How do the trophies work in Battle Network? How many platinums are there? Please tell me there's at least more than one. I beg. I will platinum as many of those games as they allow. I'm prepared for chat to tell me there's only one platinum. I would be a little surprised if they were like, hey, you can get 6 platinums off of this one game. But I still hope. Because I love getting platinum trophies, especially for games that I like. I win. 2 platinums? I'll take it. 2 platinum trophies? I'll take it. I'll take it. I was hoping for 6, 1 for each, like, Network 1, Network 2, Network 3. I wasn't sure how they would do that with the version difference ones. But I will take my 2 platinums and I'll be happy. I won't be any greedier than that. There was always the possibility that they would just put no platinum trophies, like Hitman 2, and that would have infuriated me. Platinum trophy for Network 1 through 3 and Network 4 through 6? Okay, nice, yeah. Yeah, because they have them split into 2 volumes if you buy them digitally, right? Yeah. Dude, 2 platinums, I'll take it. That's good enough for me. I was prepared to only get 1 platinum, so I will gladly take being allowed 2. We no longer need Adhesive Explosive. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I'm 99% certain this is how it works. We do not have to, we have to have Adhesive Explosive in the deck and play him to get experience, but we don't need him in the deck for his effect to work, his, like, spirit effect, which, for Adhesive Explosive, that is that you have a better chance of registering duelists. So there's no need to have him in the deck. Blastsphere is just a better card all around, especially with our dark deck. Fontaine. Yeah, Pokemon games, they sell like crazy. Their base gameplay loop is just good enough that people will play them, and it has so much built-in nostalgia that there's nothing to be done at this point. You know that DJ Khaled meme where, like, he has the, it's like the Suffering from Success, which I think is the name of one of his albums or something? I don't listen to music, especially not DJ Khaled. But, Pokemon is literally the textbook example of suffering from success. There has been nothing worse for the Pokemon franchise than how popular it is. Because it, like, no matter what it does, it makes money. And as a result, criticism doesn't matter. As long as they put out something that is actually playable, like, unless they, honestly, even if they put out a game that, like, when you went through the first hour of it, it just suddenly crashed. That's That's the only thing that could stop Pokemon from being able to get away with it. They make too much money and they have too much of a monopoly on people's nostalgia that they can... There's just nothing to be done. It's unfortunate. But that's just the way it is. Why didn't I play Mage Power? Good question, me. Oh yeah, when I get the game tomorrow, I'll take a look at the trophy list. I just wanted chat to go ahead and tell me so I could stop wondering and instead just know. Force Raider. Get koala'd. Chumley, my man, this is not a good time for you. I have a really good... Nimble Mamanga sucks, but I've got a really good setup right now.